welcome. We're delighted that you're here today. Thanks for registering, thanks for coming, thanks for being with us. And all I'm going to say is, thanks to these three, and this is Daniel, and Alicia, and Doug, and they're with the Orange County Sheriff's Department. And they have some interesting information from us, and they assure us that they're going to learn from us as well. So speak up, ask questions, interact with them, and we'll all have a good time together.
Good morning. A little bit louder, please. Good morning. Are y'all excited? Yeah. We are too. Thank y'all for the invite for us to come out today. Like she said, my name's Daniel. My last name's Robertson, but you call me Daniel. That's what I go by. That's what I'm known as. I got my Corporal Doug Moats here to help us today, and our Public Information Officer Alicia Stemper with the Sheriff's Office. She takes control of all our social media, so she sees a lot of the stuff that comes in behind the scenes. But this is my 24th year in law enforcement. I've seen a lot of different types of scams over my career. And unfortunately, they've all been some type negative. They always affected somebody, some way. Today, we're going to go through a basic PowerPoint presentation. It's just got key things for me to speak off of, but what we want to do is engage you. We want to learn from you, what you're seeing. That's how we get better, and hopefully that's how we can educate the next group that we speak to. It's a lot of different types of scams going out throughout Orange County. Not just here, but across the nation. I learned of a new one today from the pastor. So I will be adding that to our list of things that we're seeing. Any questions before we get started? No questions. Are we eating pizza for lunch out here? Is that the goal, to eat pizza? All right, so thank you so much. We'll get started. Like I said, this is an informal presentation. I need you to be engaging, asking questions, learning from each other. That's how we learn. So believe it or not, key aspects of 24 through 2025 statistics from the Federal Trade Commission that we picked up was over $12.5 billion was lost during fraud to consumers during this time period. $12.5 billion. Average loss per victim is approximately about $1,600. And that's ranging, I'll go through another slide in just a minute. That's not only our young adults, middle-aged adults, and older adults, but a lot of times we find that our older adults are a little bit more higher as far as currency and money getting taken advantage of because they got a better savings account probably, some type of retirement, but we'll get into that in just a second. So we see a lot of investment scams here recently. Fake investment companies wanting you to invest your money in their product. So $5.7 billion, which is a 24% increase from the past years for investment scams. Imposter scams. What do you think an imposter scam is? That's an older scam. One of the very first ones was a grandparent scam where they use fear to persuade you to somehow transfer money, pay for some type of emergency situation. For example, say you got a call early in the morning or late at night. Why would you think they would call you early in the morning or late at night? Emergency. You're probably still in bed. You're probably tired, kind of fuzzy. Yes, ma'am. And so what they'll do is they'll talk real fast. Hey, Grandma. And it could be a guy's voice or a female's voice, thinking that you're going to think, you got a grandson, grandkid? What's their name? Okay. So, hey, it's Lida. And you're going to say, who? Or what would you say? Real quick. If they, really? Yeah. So what they do is they'll call and it's your grandson, it's your grandma, and it's your grandson, granddaughter, and they'll be like, is this Doug? Yeah, that's me, Grandma. I'm in the hospital, or I've been arrested, unfortunately, for a minor traffic violation. I need you to transfer some money so I can get out and pay my citation. But don't tell Mom and Dad. Why would they want you to tell Mom and Dad? They'll say no. So this was a scam that we've seen in the past, and It's evolved from that into electronics, unfortunately, social media, unfortunately. So thank you for pointing that out, that is one of the original scams that we used to see was a grandparent scam, using fear. Still do? Who said that? Have you had that recently happen?
Not too long ago. And they say, hey, Grandma. And I said, you're not my grandchild because they don't call me Grandma. Oh!
Larry asked, what's your name?
Yeah.
I'm your grandson. Well, you're twins. Which one
Yeah.
are you?
Smart. Good job, Larry. Good job. So, yeah. So, imposter scams, that being a grandchild, and unfortunately being some type of law enforcement agent, a pastor, people are getting creative. These scammers are creative. A lot of times, this is pretty much their full-time job. They don't have nothing else to do except tweak the way they do this. So, imposter scams, most common scams, credit card scams, identity theft. Why would you think identity theft would be a common scam? Right. You can Google anything. Yep, your address. They can go on government sites such as tax records, find out where you live, what your property's worth, and we'll talk about that later. Alicia has added a slide to this talking about warranty information on your home, stuff like that. So, identity theft, online shopping, believe it or not. Who shops online these days? And unfortunately, product of online shopping is next door to the mall, right? Decreased in size, stuff like that. But everybody shops online these days. It's convenient, it's easy, but unfortunately, it's not too many security parameters to help prevent you from clicking on the wrong site. I was talking to this young lady back here earlier about a secondary that's just trying to buy some concert tickets. If you don't mind me, concert tickets online. So she clicked on the website to buy these tickets, and unfortunately, a secondary site popped up wanting to buy tickets from it. So you got to be careful. And I got a slide. We'll talk about different logos, trademarks of like Amazon, Apple, things like that, how they trip you up in trying to convince you that the site's legit. Payment methods, a lot of different type of payment methods these scammers want you to utilize. Bank transfers, cryptocurrencies, big right now. Cryptocurrency, you see it on TV every night probably if you watch the news. They're primary methods for transferring funds for scammers. So let's talk about some demographics. Usually when we do these presentations, we get invited by the Department of Aging at the senior centers here in Orange County, which is Seymour Center. We do Passmore Center. We do it quarterly for some of their programs to help educate our older adults that visit those facilities. We also do it at other community centers in rural Orange County, but we usually cater this to just our older adults because we find, unfortunately, they get taken advantage of more frequently than our younger generation. But younger adults ages from 20 to 29 report losing more often than older adults, and a lot of times this is low amounts because they really don't have the funds to give these scammers. Older adults, sufficient high total financial losses, 3.4 billion annually according to recent estimates, and when they're scammed, these individuals' financial impacts is often much more severe because a lot of times it affects their retirement, which affects their income monthly. We've seen individuals lose over 6 figures before, unfortunately. Geographic hotspots throughout the nation, Florida, Georgia, and Nevada consistently rank among the highest. And I was sitting here trying to ponder why, but Florida's got a lot of retirees. So common contact methods, they're evolving just like anything these days. They're evolving from sending letters. I talk about the Publishers Clearinghouse. How many people remember the Publishers Clearinghouse? Or my mom does. Growing up, we was going to get rich. We was going to have some people show up with some balloons and a van and a check, and we were going to win some money. So a lot of times back then, people would jump on the bandwagon and claim to be, hey, you just won this sweepstakes. You just won this lottery. You're the 15th customer that registered for such and such, and you're winning a $100 gift card or something. But what do you have to do to win something normally? Buy something, register. Yeah, so if you won the lottery, right. So it's evolved, and current trends are emails, just like the pastor was talking earlier. Phone calls, text messages. How many of you got smartphones? A lot of people got smartphones. Text messages. I'll talk about a text message in just a second. Social media. Anybody on social media? There's so many different social media platforms now. It used to be just like Facebook and Twitter. Now you've got TikTok. You TikTok, Larry? You don't TikTok? Okay. But social media, unfortunately, it's the root of all evil sometimes. You got. That's the comfortability of the individual, because, you know, it's nothing wrong with being too cautious, is it? Go ahead.
I've got a place that being too cautious. I have a place where being too cautious is probably in my way. So I'm the social media person for the office. Every time we post, you know, there's a wreck, go the other way, these messages pop up. So sad, we have the video, check it out here. Well, I really want to know what's next. Like, is that a scam we should be putting up here? But I'm afraid to click it. So I can't even figure out, other than to tell you not, there is no video. If there was a video, it would be in the big square, right? It's not going to be in the comments. But I'd really like to know. So if any of you want to volunteer to find out what happens when you click on the so sad, or we captured the video here, here's the real police video, let me know.
Social media, that's Alicia. She gets everything. And talking about social media and Facebook, I don't know if you've all seen this, but we've seen it in the past where we've taken reports with Facebook, and, you know, that's one of the first platforms that we've seen in social media. And that thing that comes with social media, with Facebook, is called Messenger, where individuals, usually single older adults, will get messages from these nice, attractive people, would befriend them, try to build a relationship with them, and then take advantage of them. So a lot of different ways to get scammed. It's evolved over the years. So we talk about jury duty scam at our office because everybody loves the sheriff's office and everybody loves to pretend to be the sheriff's office. If we get this 10 times a day, we probably get it 30 times a day, more than that. And we get calls at the front desk. Miss Canny and Miss Jackie sit up there all day, and people will call. I got a call from Corporal Moats that I missed jury duty. I didn't get a letter, but they wanted me to send them some money so I wouldn't get arrested. And that's what they do. They'll call. And unfortunately, I was talking to Alicia earlier. We had a high-profile case to go through our judicial system about a month or two ago. And every deputy that testified in that case, because it was televised on TV, was used as some type of reference to a scam. So they would call and claim to be that deputy and try to solicit funds for missing jury duty. And no, we will not come put you on a patrol car, Larry, and take you to jail and throw away the key. I've heard that. And until you pay the fine. Or they will use fear. I'm going to come get you, Larry. I'm going to throw you in the back of the car, and you're going straight to jail if you don't go to Harris Teeter or to a grocery store, get me some Bitcoin or get me some type of gift card. Yep. Have you heard that? Yeah. Everybody's heard the jury duty scam, right? Hopefully so, because it's the most that we see. And we're not going to do that. I think they've even called the sheriff while he was in his office claiming. So we hear it all the time. And they'll actually call. We was talking about phone numbers. they'll actually call our landline office number, and we just keep them on the phone and try to keep them going, because we know that the longer that we keep them on the phone, the less opportunity they give to prey on somebody else. So, but any of y'all got a jury duty?
So when Daniel talks about the jury duty scam, it's not just the older people. We talk about the people that sit at the front desk at the sheriff's office that answers the phone. I was up there with them one morning. The door opens. This young lady, probably 19, 20 years old, has a bag, a Food Lion bag. Walking in the door, crying, bawling her eyes out. Walks up to the counter, drops the bag on the counter, says, "I'm sorry, here's my money, please don't put me in jail." She got a phone call that she had missed jury duty. They wanted her to bring however much money and meet them at a location. She was smart enough that I'm going to go to the sheriff's office. But before she came to the sheriff's office, she went to her bank. She withdrew over $19,000 from her account and brought it in a Food Lion bag and dropped it on the front counter. We assured her that it was a scam. It took us probably 15 minutes to get her to calm down.
Yeah.
We escorted her out the door to her car, told her to go right back to her bank and put the money back in her bank account.
She was lucky.
They are going after anybody any way they can. So it's smart on her part that if I'm going to go for this, I'm going to the sheriff's office. Thank God she did.
Yeah.
If not, she'd been out $19,000 and probably never saw a penny of it again. So this happened.
Yes, ma'am.
I remember hearing a long time ago, if I didn't initiate the phone call, I should not give out any information.
Correct. That's great. And glad you said that. So when you get these, we'll talk about robocalls and telemarketer calls in just a second. Have you ever noticed that when your phone rings, and if you pick up that number you don't know by chance, and you say hello, it's like a lull. But when you say that second hello, it's like it activates the person. Next time, notice that, because I've come to learn that. So, anything else on jury duty? Any questions about the jury duty?
Not about that, but a lot of times they're in a big room and you can hear voices in the background.
Yeah. It's because they're like in a classroom with 20 computers, or they're in a living room somewhere with 10 computers. But unfortunately, a lot of these individuals are not in the United States. They're way overseas somewhere and can't be traced. Yes. Sorry.
I remember I was on my computer and this thing popped up and it scared the hell out of me. And it says, if you don't call this number, and I did, and my mom told me to hang up, but I almost got scammed.
Yeah.
Because I almost gave my social security. So,
Yeah.
Two things. One about not giving out any information. I got a call that I missed, and it was from Duke Health, Duke Primary Care, whatever you call it, and they wanted me to call back about my appointment. So I called back, and the first thing they wanted was my date of birth, and I'm like, And now I came to believe that they were not scamming me. But it has gotten to the point that you can't even communicate with your doctor because they leave you this opaque message, but then they want you to, they ought to figure out a way to, I don't know, two-factor authenticate that or something. But the other thing I wanted to say is about the jury duty scam. We saw pretty much the same formula for the first 4 or 5 years that I worked here. One sometimes twist was the phone would say Orange County Sheriff's. Usually it would say department. We're pretty adamant that we're the Orange County Sheriff's Office because the sheriff is elected. You don't go to the mayor's department, you go to the mayor's office. He's an elected official, right? So that's one way we know. But the phone would say Orange County Sheriff's Office, and it would say that was our phone. It would say 245-2900. That's how good the technology is. But we were dealing with that, doing the best we could, and then this new one started coming out about a month ago, 2 months ago, I first started hearing about it. You would get the jury duty scam call, and they'd say, you failed to show up for grand jury, and you'd say, I never received a notification. And the caller would say, well, yes, you do, you signed it. It was certified mail, and you signed for it. And you're like, no, I never did that. And they say, well, come to the sheriff's office, and we'll do a handwriting analysis. And they have you so scared because they've got your signature. They just have to go. I think it's... Is this better? Now I lost completely where I was, but... Oh, yeah, they're so scared. What happens is they stop thinking rationally because then the pressure tactics come. Don't hang up the phone. You know, we are waiting for you. Because you basically are under arrest now. What? You know, if you break contact, you do not get the chance to come pay your Bitcoin or your Green Dot gift card or your $15,000 or whatever it is because you broke contact. This is like something we're doing for you. Aren't they nice? So, and we've had a lot of people fall for it. But you know, when they realize it is the minute they pay the money or they give the code off the gift card or they deposit in the kiosk, because then the fear goes down and it's within 5 minutes they start going, wait a minute. But they're so panicked, and it's sophisticated. If it's happened to you, it probably won't happen to you again, but you have no reason to feel bad. They just used your good nature and psychology. And I used to have dreams about getting thrown in jail for something I didn't do. If you have a conscience, sometimes it gets in your way. I keep talking about things getting in my way. But that little twist, it's that piece about the handwriting. You're more inclined to go do it because you've got to prove yourself right. I didn't sign that. But then you're so busy wondering about, well, maybe somebody knows my signature. How good can they copy it? And you just get in your head. And
But isn't it important to build relationships, trusting the sheriff's office, your banks,
Yes, ma'am.
building relationships with them, because they will say, that's not her. She'll show the Ross. Maybe it's a Ross, but that's
And fortunately, we've had bank representations build that rapport with their members and recognize signs of them coming in, withdrawing a large amount of money, which is uncharacteristic of those individuals. And then they would notify us. We would go speak with them, and sure enough, it was a scam. They were getting money out to go get gift cards or something.
you know who never warns you? It's those Green Dot gift card machines. I'm sorry, I didn't see your hand.
You know, I got one of these jury duty calls several years ago, and I told them, see, send your deputy on out to pick me up. Just tell the sheriff's deputy, come on, pick me up, and I'll talk to him.
We got a story we'll get to in a little bit about Polis, about that, and building those relationships. We're fortunate to be, we work for Community Services Division Sheriff's Office, so we're fortunate to be at the public and get to build these relationships with the citizens throughout Orange County. And I get Doug to talk about this work too. We can do
The
it.
other thing I was just going to say is,
Better watch out, they'll start singing here.
I really think that it would be great if we could put warning signs on the gift card machines and the kiosks. But guess what? The owners of those machines, they don't want those signs on there because they get a cut of any money put in there.
That's
No, because they're getting rich off the scammers.
Yep.
So
Well,
sounds like
So-
you should be next. Warm up your vote.
I like that. So we talk about imposters. It's many different forms of imposters. We talk about government imposters. We just talked about people pretending to be us as a sheriff's office. IRS, Internal Revenue Service, now till April 15th, tax season. Be very wary of calls for somebody representing themselves as a tax office or Internal Revenue Service trying to solicit funds or you owe taxes. Social Security Administrations, this is how people call and get pertinent information as far as your date of birth, Social Security number. Can you confirm your address for me? Stuff like that, because they want to update your information in their system. So a lot of times we see that. Medicare, same thing. I remember being at my grandparents' house when I was younger. They'd have the TV on, and it always would be a Medicare commercial come on, and always a number for them to call. And so that instilled in their head that, hey, it's common practice for Medicare to call me. So when somebody calls trying to scam them, sometimes people take it as legit because they see it so much on TV, on the news. Local law enforcement, not just us, our agency, partnering agencies throughout Orange County, they are also getting misrepresented on different types of scenarios. Not much, I don't think, the jury duty, because specifically the sheriff is responsible for the courthouse. So that kind of triggers people with the whole jury duty in the sheriff's office. But, they always pose as an imposter trying to solicit funds and try to scam individuals. Common online shopping scam red flags. This is new. We're seeing this more and more as people use technology, use your laptops. Not only your laptops, what's your smartphone? It's pretty much a computer, right? It does more than just dial a number. So a lot of times we see individuals get taken advantage of on fake websites. And if this thing reach, if you look at that Amazon.com, it spells Amazon, but it's got a 0 instead of that O. And for somebody that's in a hurry trying to get something ordered, they'll click on it in a heartbeat. And then once they click on it, the site looks pretty much legit. And then they'll go order something, and a lot of times it's fraudulent. Outdated logos, we talked about logos. Be very, very cautious on websites and logos. They can make it look pretty much to a point of everything but one minor detail, which might be a color. It might be, say, a Nike swoosh. It might be backwards. Believe it or not, yeah. So suspicious payment methods, when people try to sell something, they want you to use some type of cash out, which is like a Venmo or a PayPal, or not PayPal, but anything like that, the wire transfer, gift cards. Be very suspicious. I hate using cash apps. A lot of the younger generation love to use cash apps. They'll be out to dinner and want to split the bill. Oh, just cash out me $50. Not me. Urgency and pressure. A lot of times people want to use urgency and pressure. Why would they want to do that? You're not thinking. You think it's very important. You want to hurry up and get this transaction done. That's right. You're not thinking. No contact information. When you buy from these websites, if they have lack of information such as an address, believe it or not, working phone numbers, or any kind of return policy, a legit company would probably have some type of return policy, wouldn't they? Social media ads. Scammers frequently use social media platforms to target consumers with fraudulent ads. I see it all the time, unfortunately. Facebook, TikTok, Larry. It's all the time on that stuff. Yes, ma'am.
When I see something on Facebook, it's like, oh, that looks really good. I'll go to a different tab and say whatever the company name is, reviews. Mm-hmm. And I'd say 90% of the time it's like, a lot of people report this as a scam.
Yeah. There's so many different sites now that sell different things for cheap prices. Temu's one, yeah.
Postage stamps. The last few days, I've seen offers to buy U.S. postage stamps.
Reduced price.
Way. I mean,
Now, is this on social media sites or?
I think it's probably on Facebook. I may get emails, but, I mean, I know that's a
Yeah.
scam.
So we was talking about text messages, getting text messages scams. Last year and the year before, this was running all over. I was getting them. What it is, it's a fake toll text that comes through, claiming that you got an unpaid toll. Fake Easy Pass website. It looks pretty much just like that NC Quick Pass, but it's altered a little bit. It demands some type of credit card information to resolve this issue. Again, it creates urgency, wanting you to pay these fees. But would you have to go somewhere to go through a toll? Wouldn't you think, hey, I haven't been anywhere with a toll? And a lot of times when you do go through a toll, they don't text you, right? They send you some mail. Like if the pastor goes through a toll and it gets his tag, it's going to get his pretty little face sometimes. I know Virginia's done that, but no, I'm just picking on you. But you got to actually go through somewhere with this toll to be able to get a bill. So.
And again, moving from Massachusetts back home here, we had to have a toll for Massachusetts and, all the surrounding areas. And when they say you don't, I keep everything, too much documentation that it was sent back and this and that. And if some entity keeps telling you, you didn't send the easy clicker, I call it the clicker back, you call your credit card company and say, I have documentation that this was sent back. Do not allow them to charge our credit card anymore because it has been submitted.
Any questions thus far? I like y'all being engaged and talking. We talked about grandparent scam, right? Tech support scams, pop-ups. Yeah. Back when the internet first started, believe it or not, it used to be a lot of different pop-up viruses, stuff like that, wanting you to click on it, wanting you to resolve the situation, or you need to update your antivirus. And a lot of times these were scams to get you to click on it. Once you clicked on it, unfortunately, it allowed remote, the individuals would call you or you would call them to remedy the situation, but they want remote access to your computer. So a lot of people, unfortunately, gave them that access to their computer. And they could go in and log into the bank information, credit card, stuff like that, and unfortunately take advantage of them. So be very wary of tech support scams. We talked about caller IDs. We'll talk about some phone calls here in just a minute, but these people can spoof phone numbers. Alicia just talked about the sheriff's office phone number. They probably could do the church here, pastor's email, all kinds of stuff. Robocalls, they use sophisticated phone systems to dial as many households as they can. And it's just a database of numbers that they plug in, and they just hope one person picks up. That second hello, 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 bam, they got you. And then they keep you on the phone and try to sell you something or try to fraud you of some type of money. A lot of times they'll call and they'll claim your information on your debit card was sold illegally, believe it or not. They need to update your information, make sure it's your information. And they're going to ask you what? Name, date of birth, address, social security number, some type of identifying information.
We get occasionally robocalls that are non-responsive. We'll say hello, no response. Hello, no response. And then my wife will just say, I can't hear you, and hang up.
Click them. Smart wife.
Yeah.
Hang up on them. If you don't know a number, don't answer it. That's the way I do it. I mean, and I don't have a landline. How many of you still got landlines? Everybody else got smartphones? Just got everybody's contact information? My parents still got landlines. That's probably the only phone number I know by heart. Everything else is in a contact form where if you say, call Alicia, I'd have to look her number up. Call Doug, I'd have to look his number up because we don't memorize phone numbers like we used to. And isn't it amazing that we used to remember 10, 12 phone numbers like that? A phone book. Do they still make phone books? Warranty scams. We used to get a lot of phone calls about updating your vehicle warranty. A lot of times. And a lot of times it's people trying to sell stuff, but unfortunately a lot of times it's people trying to take advantage of individuals. He's retired now, Sergeant Ivy. He used to work with me in this division, and he used to get calls all the time. And he would play with them as long as he could. He was like, I got a 1979 Ford Pinto. It's got such and such amount of miles on it. I'm glad you called me today. I'd love to get a warranty on it. And so we would just keep them going, keep them going, keep them going. That way they're not preying on anybody else. This is actually a letter that one of our citizens received in the mail. And you know, it looks legit, and it could be legit. All it is a house warranty. Isn't that right, Alicia?
Hello? Okay. We attempted to call you and you didn't answer, and your warranty is about to expire. And maybe they had one, maybe they didn't, but if you have a home repair, you're going to have to pay it. It's like, I kind of knew that when I bought the house. I mean, but they just twist it around on you, but they've got your phone number, your address, and even the little 4 things after your zip code, and they put a barcode on it. I'd love to scan that thing and see what it would take me to, probably aisle 4 at Harris Teeter or something, but it looks official, even the box in the upper right-hand corner. So if they make it look legitimate, your defenses go down, right? So anyway.
So it's many different, we talk about phone scams, mail scams, letters in the mail. I hadn't seen that far as the jury duty stuff for us yet, knock on wood. Charity scams. Oh gosh, charity scams. They want to pull at your heartstrings. Yeah, a lot of times they rely on the goodwill of people to donate money to great causes that really need legit donations, unfortunately. They capitalize on current events, whether it's been like a hurricane come through, tornado, some type of natural disaster. They always insist on you donating immediately. They want that sense of urgency. If you don't give them this $50, these kids are not going to eat tomorrow. But payment methods are red flags, such as gift cards or some type of money transfer. But they love to play on people's heartstrings. I think about TV commercials. I think about the ASPCA with all them little sad dogs and cats. And they pretty much try to talk up to charity scams about that stuff too. So how can you protect yourself? Always be skeptical. We talked about the lottery and sweepstakes. If it's too good to be true, it normally is, right? Never give out personal information or financial information to somebody that you don't know. I'm not going to give my information out to anyone that I don't know. Don't click on links or emails or text message from unknown senders. Always be wary of deals that seem to be too good to be true. Research companies before you buy something from them, before you invest, before you give any kind of information to. Always research. We talk about 2-factor enables for passwords. Have strong passwords. Don't use your name or your grandchild's name, stuff like that. Use something that's hard or something that's going to be complicated for somebody to figure out. Keep software up to date on your computers, antiviruses if that's still applicable. Be cautious on social media. Social media is the biggest thing that we see. And like we talked about Facebook, we talked about Twitter, we talk about TikTok, Larry. But unfortunately, now you got dating apps on social media. So, you know, a lot of times people on these dating apps get scammed. Talk to someone you trust to ensure, if you're unsure about anything, whether it be a spouse, a child, or older adult child relative. Just talk to somebody if you think you might be taken advantage of. And if you think you've been a victim, don't ever be afraid or embarrassed. We see that a lot, unfortunately, in our older adults. They're embarrassed. They think that their independence is violated, and they don't want their children to think that they can't take care of themselves. Talk about it with someone you trust. Doing nothing can always make it worse, and always keep a handy local phone number, such as your law enforcement, such as your financial institution. Build those relationships with your bank tellers. That way they kind of can see a pattern when you go in there, just in case something happens where they need to report something. And believe it or not, Adult Protective Services. Always keep that number in handy. If you know somebody that's getting taken advantage of, but you don't feel comfortable confronting that individual, maybe you could report it to somebody that could help them. And that's it. That's what we've been seeing here lately in Orange County, and it'll change tomorrow. We'll see something new. I found something new today with the pastor about him sending out emails wanting you to pick up some gift cards for him.
Well, I didn't send it.
He didn't send it. Yeah.
In fact, I'm wondering how many of you in the room have received said email from me asking for gift cards or something I need you to get for me.
Does it look legit?
Yeah.
Except the address is wrong.
Ah, pick that up. Good job.
And you can never get anything from Sally anyway.
Sally. But can y'all think of anything else?
I have a question. How many of you in this room have one of these? What is it? Computer. Exactly. It used to be a cell phone. Nowadays, it's a computer that has the capability to make a phone call. Exactly. So it's smart technology. How many of you Google? Let's say that we wanted to Google a new Italian restaurant to eat at. You find out where it's at, and then for the next 3 days, any Italian restaurant in the United States pops up on your phone, right? He talked about Sergeant Ivy. So I took Sergeant Ivy's place. When I came into the office, our IT guy gave me Sergeant Ivy's phone. For about a week, I got about 30 phone calls a day from Sergeant Ivy's buddies with the warranty services, to the point that I took the phone back to the IT guy and said, either change the number or I'm going to bust it. Because he got tired of answering the phone. So be very careful. These things are smartphones. And they can do stuff that we don't imagine because we're old school. This is new technology.
I got a letter in the mail from American Express that I had applied for a checking account with my credit card. Obviously, I have a balance. I mean, not a balance, but a lot of credit. Thank you. And so they sent me a letter and said, if you did not do this, call this number, which I did. And so this is the second time in the past 6 months that my credit card, someone has tried to get a checking account. So they've changed and things and asked me to change passwords and all. So I guess somebody would have just drained the account, but there was an ID. And he thanked me for calling, and I said, well, it was because you sent me a letter. I wouldn't have known otherwise. So, but I always shred all of these things that come in the mail about checking account or any credit card donations, because I don't want someone to put my name in and address.
Can you talk specifically about identity theft, how it's done, and how we might protect ourselves against that?
So the easiest way to protect yourself is there is 3 national credit reporting bureaus. Call them and talk to them about identity theft. Tell them that you would like to be notified if anybody ever tries to open an account in your name. Even if you're applying for a new account somewhere, if you have this protection from them, which is free, they will notify you that, hey, somebody's trying to open this account. It puts a said freeze on your accounts, but it doesn't penalize you for doing that. So that is the easiest way to do it. You can also notify your financial institute and tell them, hey, I want to have a flag on my account that if anybody comes in, tries to take money out of my account, that somebody calls me or sends me an email. So they are very good organizations to notify. The other thing is identity theft. If somebody calls, like Alicia talked about earlier, they want your date of birth, they want your social security number, don't give it to them until you can prove that it's legitimate.
Well, my answer to that is, you already have that.
Yeah. Right. That's the easiest thing. Hang up the phone, block their number. If it's somebody that truly is trying to get in touch with you for a reason, then they'll leave you a voicemail. They'll leave you a legitimate number. You can always, if somebody calls you from a number, you can always look up that number to see if it's legit. Even with the smartphones now, while I was standing here, I got a phone call. So if you saw, I just reached in my pocket, looked at my phone, and the first thing it did was gave the number, but it also told me it was potential spam. So the cell phone carriers are starting to include that as well. It's part of everyday life for us anymore. So the best thing to do is protect yourself. Yes, sir.
Can I make a suggestion, adding what you said? Instead of calling the credit bureaus, I would suggest you go online and do it, because you can do it yourself.
Mm-hmm.
And if you call them, you're giving them key information where they've had instances where the credit bureau people are stealing your information. Because you have to give them key information that you don't release. You can easily do it on all 3 websites online. You just set up an ID and a password, and it freezes your account. And so if you do that, if you need to, it doesn't affect anybody looking at your credit if they have to monitor it, but they just can't apply for credit. So it would stop yours, Barbara, if somebody trying to apply for credit. The other thing with your credit unions or your banks, I would go into your home banking, and you can get alerts sent to you. You can set up alerts from your home banking that'll say this transaction just happened, and some of them you can stop it at that point.
I have my credit frozen on all 3 of those.
Yeah, and we just did, I have a 93-year-old dad, and we just did that. It's very common in older people that they know you're not monitoring your credit. And if you call them, like I said, they want to sell you a product, but if you go online, they're not trying to sell you something. So I would suggest you put that in your slides to give people that information, because it just takes minutes to do. You just need to know a little bit about yourself and your credit to get into your credit card and freeze. But with your credit unions or your banks and your home banking, I have mine set up where you can actually see every debit card transaction that comes through. It alerts you in every credit card transaction within minutes. Sometimes the minute you get your debit card, you're getting a transaction on your phone saying, did you do this? So it helps you to monitor your accounts, and that helps the financial institutions shut it down as well.
Well, monitoring is really key, and I mean, a lot of us probably get our credit card statements and look at the bottom number that usually has too many zeros and go, oh, that's about right. There was that expensive birthday dinner or whatever, right? But one time, I mean, we always look at ours in ridiculous detail, but we had some, it looked like we purchased Chinese phone apps. But they were all small amounts, and that's the trick. They tend to ding you for a little bit to find out if you're paying attention. And then if you're not monitoring, if you don't check your if you do it, I keep a register and I balance on the back of the statement every month because I am that kind of nerd, right? But I catch stuff. Sometimes it's just mistakes. The bank read it wrong. Sometimes it's somebody after you. And I like what you're saying about monitor, monitor, monitor. And one of the reasons you want to check is like there's skimmers, or is that what they're called, on gas pumps now. And sometimes they don't look very different. You have to really look at it, and sometimes even then you won't see it. But it's just reading your credit card as you pump your gas, or remove it quickly. But so you have to watch out for that as well. So it's a crazy world.
About the Nomo Robo app? For
No.
robocalls, I've installed it on my phone, and right now, they're blocking over 13 million robocalls. And the number keeps rising. And every time that, when I first installed it, I was getting all these robocalls. And so there's a way for you to report a number that you know is a robocall, and they will verify it and add it to their list.
And tell me again what it's called. Nomo Robo. And it's an app.
N-O-R-O-V.
And it's an app?
It's an app.
Okay.
And you have to pay for it, but I've had it for 2 years, and I haven't had a robocall in a very long time.
So make sure that we get your information, both of you, because we're taking y'all on the road with us. How about that?
And Larry. I got to take Larry. Larry's coming with me. But, yeah, TikTok Larry.
When Daniel talked about romance scams, I'm not sure we told you about this one's really sophisticated, but often when someone's spouse has died 6 months, a year later, and this person will form a relationship with you. Sometimes they're conveniently a financial advisor, and they make you a deal that's too good to be true. But often they just give you what you're missing, somebody who's like your person, who will check on you every night, and you just feel, I'll get you in 1 second. And eventually they're gonna come see you, but their HVAC system just went out. Could you buy the plane ticket? And then they don't show up, and we had a woman not too long ago that when we added it all up, it was over $60,000 she sent to the lover she never met. It was just awful. So she was heartbroken all over again and broke. And what was your question?
Yeah, when should we let the scam go, just like not answer the phone versus contacting you? So
As far as not answering the phone?
yeah,
If you don't know the
so
number?
we don't like bother you every time we get a scam. But
Yeah.
when it's an emergency, it's fine.
Anything that you feel needs to be reported, feel free to give us a call. That's why we're here. And we would love to learn if it's a new scam from you. So always feel free to, that's with anything, feel free to call 911, call our admin line at the sheriff's office. We're here to help. That's what we do. And as we're closing, we're fortunate that we get to work for a sheriff that allows us to come out and educate. And that's one of his initiatives for us in our division, is to educate. And we educate on scams. We educate on bike safety. We've got so many different platforms that he allows and wants us to go out into the community and educate not just our adults, but our kids. So thank y'all for letting us come out. The pizza's here, Larry. And if you know another organization around that would love for us to come talk to them, we would love to do it. Just let us know. And contact information was up there. I'll be glad to get you my contact information. Other than that, any follow-up? Yes, ma'am.
I get these phone calls periodically. I think it's the Police Benevolent Association that they want you to give to.
It's a true legit association, actually.
Oh, is it really?
There's a couple of legit associations that raise funds for different things. We got them, it's the North Carolina Sheriff's Association, that are huge supporters of us. So it's actually legit agencies or associations out there for that. But the main thing is, do your research on it. Feel free to give us a call, and yeah, we'll do research for you. just let us know.
If you contribute to that, will they give you a break with the speeding ticket?
Some people think that little bumper sticker does, but I don't think so. No, it's just support, and I know each association appreciates that support because they do good things for the individuals that they represent. So again,
one of the big things to leave you all with is, as hard as we work to find out what scams are going around and what people are trying to do to you, like today we found out from the pastor about the email scam. These scammers know that we're learning this stuff, but there's millions of them that are working harder to come up with another one.
Yep.
So it's just a constant turnaround. So, like we said, if you believe you're getting scammed, call 911. You're not going to get in trouble for calling 911. So please reach out to us.
we're going to do a duet. All right.
Thank you, thank you, thank you. We appreciate you, we appreciate what you do, and we appreciate your willingness to be with us today.